Welcome to my live stream. Today is day 31 of Inktober 2018. It's been quite a month. When I've got a full-time job and I make weekly YouTube videos, it doesn't leave a lot of free time. But I decided I wanted to try to work on my inking skills every day this month. So here we are on the 31st day. I'm happy that I've been able to at least stick to that schedule. I'm pretty exhausted. I will admit that. But who cares, right? It's day 31 of Inktober. Today's prompt was slice, which definitely I found to be quite a challenge for what I was going to illustrate. And then I thought of a samurai character that I like, Manji from Blade of the Immortal. And so I've decided I'm going to take a stab at that. I don't think I've done the best sketch yet, but you know what? I've only got so much time. Got to get started before the day is over. Whew. Anyway, let's see. Some folks are joining me. Thank you so much. Let's see. I've got some live chat folks. Nathan Cudgel, Janice Price, Mandela Butterfly, James Gleason, Tito Sauron 2. All right. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Lovely to have you all here. Sincerely appreciate the support. Yeah, been pretty good overall. I'm definitely glad I did this. I think I've found a couple areas that I would like to personally focus on to improve, but also feel that I've made a couple strides in some areas, and that feels nice. One thing I didn't expect to discover that I really enjoyed doing was playing with those gray Copic markers and sort of giving it some depth, rounding it out, and yeah, so that was something that was a pleasant discovery. Hadn't planned on doing that, but ended up doing it for, I don't know, maybe at least half of the pieces that I illustrated this month. Let's see. Janice got an inking pen from Walmart and is going to start making videos. That's awesome. Hello to Ink Sports 99. Hello to J. Andrew World, Clay 3613, and Jack Jones. Not Lone Wolf and Cub. This is going to be Manji from the manga Blade of the Immortal. Certainly has to be given some credit, like to Lone Wolf and Cub. I mean, that's definitely one of the manga that inspired like almost every sort of samurai manga that followed. So, hello, Brian A. Hello, and thank you so much for joining. I don't know why, but I just don't feel 100% comfortable with this sketch here. It just isn't quite matching what's in my head, and you know, that's okay though. I mean, part of Inktober is just, hey, you're just gonna draw no matter what. You're just gonna draw, and I'm trying to work on improving my inking more than anything else. But wasn't super excited with the sketch that I came up with. Wanted to be more into it than I am. Hello, Chrissy. Hello, Foof. People are seeing some of the mangas that they like. Vagabond, Sword Daughter. Got it. Hello, Sanity. Chris, you should do a Halloween candy mukbang. What's a mukbang? I don't know what that is. The Frank Miller and Bill Sienkiewicz covers of Lone Wolf and Cub were brilliant. Yeah, well, that was definitely Frank towards the height of his abilities. I agree that they were pretty strong. Um, at a certain point, he just seemed to sort of lose his skills, but Bill Sienkiewicz is still going really strong. There's a guy that like is drawing pretty much every day, and a lot of it is just him personally just wanting to draw something. He'll draw like if a big celebrity passes away, he'll usually do a drawing that day. Um, yeah, it's amazing how much he does. A mukbang is just an eating show? Oh, that's fun. I didn't know that. Hello, Javon Miles. Let's see. Clay3613 says, "Don't do it. You technically already did one with the hamburgers." Oh, that's right. Yeah, my Riverdale episode back in the day. That's right. Ooh, that was intense. I think I ate 8 cheeseburgers. Ooh, that was a bigger challenge than I thought it would be. First 2 were great. After that, it almost immediately started not feeling good. I still sort of remember that. Just felt so heavy. Let's see. Well, folks, won't be doing daily streams after today, so if you have any sort of questions you've been wanting to ask about the show or the process or anything like that, now is the time to ask that stuff. And I'll do my best to answer as much as I can. Hello to a bunch of new folks who have joined us. We've got Son of a Red Shirt, Rosanna Mann, Roma Ticklin, and C. Hots. What's this? This is, if it comes out, that might be a big if considering the level of focus I have. But if it comes out, it's intended to be the character Manji from Blade of the Immortal. And I did make an episode about him at a certain point. I can't remember exactly when that was made, but somewhere in the Comic Tropes archives, there's an episode about Blade of the Immortal and why I think it's a really strong manga. Really, really well done. Happy Halloween. Oh, that's right. Hey, it's Halloween. Happy Halloween to Asmin, Caesar, and everybody else out there. Jack watched a lot of horror films yesterday. Awesome. Do you think you'll get yourself a kneaded eraser before next Inktober? Yes, Chrissy, I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will. Totally fair question. I will. Hopefully, moving forward, my impulse to use an eraser will be less and less. But it all depends on how sketchy, you make the initial illustration, what you do with the inks after that, right? Whoa, Mandela Butterfly, thank you so much for the super chat. I'll be honest, not trying to be greedy, but like getting a few super chats here and there was definitely a component of wanting to do a daily live stream of Inktober to help offset some expensive veterinary bills I'd accumulated in the week just before Inktober, and it paid off. Everybody was very, very generous, so that really, really helped. James Gleason escorted nieces and nephews as they went trick-or-treating. Awesome. James Cura says, greetings from the future. It's already November 1st where I am. Well, happy November. I'm a Zatoichi fan. I'm a Champara fan. Yeah, those are some good samurais. Hello, Spider Boy. Seahot says, do you think you could see yourself doing commissions? It would really all depend on how much free time I had. If I had any sort of a realistic amount of free time, yes, I would definitely give that some consideration. As it stands right now, I don't think I'd want to do it because I think it would take me quite a while to get to something, and I don't want to keep people waiting. So I'm not gonna really open something like that up until maybe I'm at a point where I'm both like confident in my skills that I can deliver what somebody is asking for, and I've got the time that I know I can deliver it in a timely manner. It's already the first in Florida. Yeah, that's right. It's right. It's getting late. You have answered this in another stream, but what's that thing on the wall behind you? A hamburger? Yeah, this is a cheeseburger. Chrissy got this after last Halloween, when everything goes on discount and stuff. That was a costume, and she I think she's planning on sewing it up to be a pillow. Is that right, Chrissy? I think that's the plan. Let's see. Let's see. Nipper says, congrats on making it through the month. Thank you. That's really nice. Does anyone else miss the Amalgam universe? Nope. Nobody does. Hello, Kai Ventura. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, this is at some point going to become a giant cheeseburger pillow. Oh, that'll be fun. I almost got a hamburger plush recently. Nice. Hello, Rainy Shack. All right, I can already tell I'm sort of going slow here, so let me try to bang out a few lines, and they just will be what they will be. Hopefully nice and clean, but you never know. You never know. So the next episode of Comic Tropes is actually it's actually a topic selected by a patron who paid to do that. That was like a tier level that I had for a while until it started getting backed up on that, so I shut it down before it was even filled all the way to what I thought I could do. But I think everyone will like it. I think it's a great idea for a topic. I think it's definitely well known. And yeah. What?
Look up at the chat.
Oh! Whoa! Whoa! Chrissy just ran in to tell me to look at the chat. Oh my god, look at that. Sanity. Oh my god. These streams were awesome, Chris. Thanks for an entire month of entertainment. Oh, please. That was my pleasure. It really was. I learned some stuff about being an artist. I got to interact with so many of you, and that's incredibly generous. Thank you so much. That really, really helps. Wow. I'll never open up just sort of I don't know what would you call it, like a GoFundMe or anything like that, just asking for money. I promise I will never do anything like that. Well, I say promise, but I guess I'll be honest. If I got cancer or something, maybe I would. I don't know. I don't think I will do that. But thank you for the super generous super chat. That's really, really amazing. That's really amazing. Wow. I'll try to keep doing these as often as I can. and hopefully we all learn something together. Uh, wow. All right. I like this. I'm like still reacting to some of your reactions, Kai Ventura, going, can't wait to see the reaction from Chris. Hello to Juan Perez. The prompt word today is slice. I'll be honest, it was giving me a lot of challenge trying to think of what to do. I mean, there's plenty of stuff that would be perfectly appropriate, and I gave a lot of thought to some characters that I do like, Wolverine, Deadpool, Deathstroke. They all seemed good, but maybe just a little too on the nose, like a little obvious there potentially. And I just wanted to do something a little unexpected here and there. Uh, so I only thought of this uh, relatively recently, like towards the end of my workday. So I was like, oh wait a minute, like what about a samurai? And like then I thought of all sorts of different like sword fighting characters. Honestly, I even thought of characters like a Highlander or something like that. But ultimately, I settled on this. Wow, I'm sorry, I'm still like stunned. Thank you again, Sanity, for the very, very generous super chat. That's makes a big difference. I can promise you, it won't go towards buying silly stuff. You may have been influenced by C. Kim's generosity. C. Kim was very generous. That was nice. That's nice. Um, that's kind. There's some really wonderful things. Hey, maybe I'll draw like Islander sometime in the future. So I'm not saying I won't. I wanted something that excited me, and this excited me. But then when I got home and started sketching, at first I liked the idea of the pose, but I'm not super happy with the pencil details. So I'm trying to like here and there sort of improve it at the inking stage. But we'll see. I'll be honest with you, like as I move forward, like whether I'm getting to what's in my head or if I'm making mistakes that it's taking me away from the vision in my head. But so far so good. So far so good. Um, oh yeah. Great question by J. Andrew World. What did everybody else draw today? So if you're drawing for Inktober at all, like, what's the most recent thing you illustrated? Even if you're not doing Inktober, what's the most recent thing you illustrated? I'd be curious. You kind of expected to go towards some silly stuff. No, I'm in a position where it's definitely going towards bills, and I wouldn't say I really have time to do. Some of the things that I like to do when I have the free time are I do enjoy. Well, first of all, I enjoy drawing. So, like, that's the most constructive thing that I can do with my free time, I enjoy reading. I enjoy reading comics. Haven't been getting a lot of extra comics, really just stuff for the show at this point, for the most part anyway. A few extras, I suppose, here and there, if something really leaps out to me. But don't have a lot of money towards that. So maybe that's what I could theoretically use it to, sort of find a mix. When I've got the time, I love Lego. That just is the most relaxing thing for me, is building like massive Lego sets. And then I really like, when I can, doing like some video games with friends online. Um, but right now, I've kind of intentionally decided like not to get too swept up with video games. Like I would love to play Red Dead Redemption 2, but I thought about it, and like as much as I'd like to play it, like right now I don't have that kind of free time. Like if I want to stick to my weekly schedule, and I do, like it's really important to me to stick to my schedule for the show. There's just so many topics I want to get to that like it would, oh, I don't know, it sort of would break my heart to skip a week. I do sometime I'll have to take a week off. Sometime I will, just for like mental health or something like that. But I'm trying to stick to it as long as possible. All right, Gordon Ramsay would have been fun to draw. Yeah, that wouldn't have been bad. What else? Who the heck doesn't love Highlander? I was a big fan of the movie series and the TV show. Heck, even the animated series wasn't that bad. Well, I do love the first movie. The rest of the stuff doesn't really connect with me too much. I've tried it all. Uh, TV show, not too bad. I wouldn't say any of the Highlander sequels are any good. They all sort of diminish what was accomplished in the original. Not against a remake, potentially seeing what they could do with modern technology for cool sword fights and that. Not against that. Whew. Didn't have any rude customers today. That was nice. That helped make today a little better. Did pretty well at work. Uh, when you work purely on commission, every day just sort of starts right over. You're almost back to zero. Like none of your past achievements mean anything. Every time you step through that door, you just need to start producing anew. It's a tough challenge, but makes me respect those who work in sales and in customer service a little bit more. Um, Definitely something I'm having to sort of relearn. Haven't really worked in customer service, like directly facing customers since I was like 16 or something, working at Walgreens as a clerk. It's been interesting. Highlander 2 was treated too harshly. The newest cut is a very solid film with an amazing score. To each their own. Hello, Mikey Jesus. J. Andrew World wrote some. Is it fair? Well, that you wrote a Highlander relaunch, also known as fanfic. I don't know. Son of a Red Shirt just says I've written a little Highlander fanfic. Um, yeah, James Gleason also says likes Highlander too. Interesting. Well, maybe I'm very much alone on this. Do you have a rivalry with other salesmen, or is it more of a team thing? You know what is nice? It really is a team thing where I work. I would say that like the only competition is like on a personal level, like a friendly competition. Like I'd like to do well, but not. Personally, I don't feel the need to do that at anybody else's expense. Definitely rely on my fellow sales consultants. When you're like just like double booked with a customer or something like that, or you can't take a lead because you're maybe you really can't come in that day, it's your day off, so you need to team up with each other for instances like that. And yeah, I don't consider that like anything bad. I like teaming up with my coworkers when the opportunity presents itself. I've got some wonderful, like, sincerely, zero personality conflicts at work. I really like my bosses. I really like my coworkers. That's nice. I've worked at a lot of jobs. I've never had a serious personality conflict. At the same time, like this is a very different type of job, and I just didn't know what to expect. Um, but no, it's been really good. Whoa, RH joins us and gives $1.99. Thank you very much. Super, super kind of you. That's appreciated. Jojo is here. I'm with you. I can't say I've watched them all the way through. Blah, blah, blah. I couldn't make it through most of the Highlander movies. Now, I tried to watch the fifth one, and it was unwatchable. Unwatchable. So boring. That's my take. I think C. Kim just joined us, so hello to C. Kim. Um, oh, okay, I see. J. Andrew World has a plan to pitch Highlander as comics. Well, that makes sense. Okay, I like that. Yeah, I think that's probably like that's a medium that would definitely suit it. And as far as I know, I don't think that there've been any Highlander comics. So if there have, they probably weren't great. But I don't think that such a thing exists. Period. Perth Comics says the Blade of the Immortal live action film is great. The opening fight where he takes out 100 warriors is awesome. Man, I agree. I was definitely like curious if anyone could pull off Blade of the Immortal as a movie. I mean, it's a long manga series, and you definitely have to make some big cuts. But you know what? Like, I think that they did it right. Like they did make cuts, but it it works as its own slightly smaller, more intimate version of the story. I don't think you lose anything too important about the main characters. It keeps the best villains. Um, Takashi Miike can do such good samurai action. He really, yeah. I totally recommend the live action adaptation. I think it was really good. There are Highlander comics. Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. How about that? So it does exist. Did not know that. Each of the Highlander sequels got progressively worse. That's pretty much true. I would say that like there's a possibility you could argue that 3 is better than 2, but it really depends on like how much you care about the source material or something. Honestly, 3 is really just closer to a remake of 1 but without Sean Connery. That's the one thing that like the second movie does have is it does have Sean Connery. So that ain't nothing. I miss Sean Connery in the movies. He was one charismatic guy. What's that? Wave Ember? Let's see. Jeffrey Hall joins us. Hello. Hello. Hugh Grant. No justice, no peace. Hello to you. Look at your drawing, and all I can think about is the beginning of Ronin. Stop posing, boy. There's more of them. The comic? Is that a line from the comic? If so, I guess I don't remember that. Ronin. Or was it a movie? And if it's a movie, then I'm not. The only like Ronin movie I can think of is the one with. It has nothing to do with like samurai. It was with. What's his name? Robert De Niro. It was like a heist movie in Europe. I think. Been a while. Been a while. I just remembered something about Highlander. I have I won a prize once. I have a replica of the sword. It's like a real sword, and it's an exact replica of the one that they used on the TV show. Whatever the one that Duncan MacLeod had. I just remembered that. I've got that somewhere. It was like more of a random drawing than a contest. You could submit questions to IO9. They were interviewing, I forget the name of the actor, but the guy that played Mythos on the TV show. And I don't even really remember what my question was. This was several years back. I think it was in promotion of that fourth movie, before the fourth movie had come out. And anyway, they selected my question, and I then won the random drawing. So I've got this really amazing Highlander sword somewhere or other. And I gotta admit, it's pretty cool. It's a really lovely sword. I barely survived Inktober. Not sure if I can do Hughvember. C. Kim says, went to a drive-in on Thursday night last summer, and me and my kid were the only ones there. They weren't going to open it up unless 10 cars came in. I paid for the other 9 cars. Aw, that's nice. I might participate in Glitteruary. All right, Chrissy. Cara Bear says, I may try NaNoWriMo this year. All right. Probably won't be able to make it through. Hey, you never know. Just start it. Like, don't think too far ahead. I didn't done this. I was like, all right, rationally, I know that this is a long way to go, but I'll just do it day by day. And before I knew it, I was a really good chunk of the way there. And then all of a sudden it's today, and I'm wrapping up, and I was like, wow, that seemed to fly by. So it's work, but it's fun work. And yeah, I would love to do NaNoWriMo myself sometime. I think I've mentioned before, I really love writing. I think I'm a better writer than I am an artist. I think that's fair to say. What am I doing here? I guess it's a little bit curved. Okay. What about iced tea? I missed something. I like iced tea. I went to the drive-in for Halloween. It was pretty packed. Ooh, I've never been to a drive-in. There's just nowhere around here that does that. There's nowhere around anywhere I've ever lived that's had a drive-in. I've always wanted to go to a drive-in. Let's see. Got the Batman the Deluxe Edition Blu-ray and the box was damaged. Boo! Voodoo Zombie joins us. I come after a couple of days and you have $100 donations. What's next? Are you a Jedi now? I am. I'm a Jedi now. It's a lot of responsibility. See ya. The only real advantage of a drive-in is you know whose ass has been in that seat. Good point. I saw the '98 Godzilla at a drive-in with Dr. Dolittle with Eddie Murphy. That just sounds like a nightmare to me. Perth Comics says, we got a drive-in left in Perth. It's a novelty, but not the best cinematic experience. I wouldn't expect it to be the best. I would be curious for the experience, just because it is a thing that people at least used to do. I love film. I would just be curious what that experience is like. It's really something that like I could just basically do once and sort of check it off the bucket list. Yeah, would not be overly important to me what movie I saw. Drive-ins require a B movie to watch. That sounds right to me. That sounds right to me. I watched Green Lantern at a drive-in theater. Ooh, that's even worse than Godzilla, maybe. Brian A. went to see Witches. I'm trying to remember Witches. Who was in Witches? That was a horror movie, wasn't it? I just can't quite remember it. Not The Witch. Witches. It's older. Um, I remember I saw Excalibur at a drive-in when I was a kid, years before Patrick Stewart became Jean-Luc Picard. Seen it at a drive-in, it always stuck with me. That's kind of cool. Sigamigs joins us. Only drive-in movie I saw was Harold and Kumar. I would have gone to see that. That sounds cool. I remember seeing Men in Black most fondly at the drive-in. I like that. Yeah, Liam Neeson was in Excalibur. It was like one of his very first movies, wasn't it? Um, who's pumped for Batman Hush? What's that, like, gonna be an animated movie or something? I haven't heard about it, I don't think. I just found out that one of my bosses at my job really likes the DC animated movies. He's really familiar with a lot of them. He like I haven't seen too many, but he has, so he actually knows quite a bit about DC superheroes. I was impressed. He had all sorts of trivia up in his noggin, so that was fun to learn. Hey, it's Halloween. What is the scariest movie for you specifically? Everybody has a different one. It could just depend on like when you saw it, or maybe the subject matter just touches you on a personal level, or maybe you don't even know why it's the scariest one for you. You just know that it like does sort of scare you. Like what's the scariest for you? I would say one that consistently holds power and the ability to sort of scare me is Jaws. Maybe it's because it's honestly just a good, well done film, so I get engrossed in the characters and I get genuinely surprised at all sorts of things that happen. Um, I like somehow sort of forget about certain surprise moments, and just the idea in general of being attacked in the water by something that can eat you is very scary to me. Maybe it's because I grew up on the ocean and saw it at a young enough age originally that it like felt plausible to me. Well, I'd be curious, what scares you? The Hills Have Eyes 1977 version, the original Halloween, good one. The worst way to see a movie is underwater. Probably true. Maybe on fire, also pretty bad way to see a movie. When I was little, it was totally Little Monsters. You know, since you say like as a kid, I will admit that like as a kid, I loved the movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Loved it. But that one scene when Large Marge reveals her face, I watch it as an adult now. It's hilarious. Like it's just really goofy and silly, and I laugh. When I was a kid, that disturbed me. It disturbed me so much. Like I would like turn my head away from the screen. I would be enjoying the whole movie. I'd know that the scene was coming up. I just sort of turn away. I didn't like to look at that. I would sometimes even block out my ears so that I didn't hear the laugh. Um, let's see. The Wall. Yeah, The Wall is a pretty disturbing one. Anything with a wide angle shot of heights. Oh, you probably don't want to see the movie. What is it? The Wire. Is that what it's called? The one about the Frenchman that walked back and forth between the World Trade Center buildings on a tightrope. Ooh. When I was a kid, I was traumatized by a film where this guy keeps getting cats and they keep dying. Aw, I have no idea what that is. One of the cats was eaten by a shark? What? That's a real movie? I would describe Night of the Living Dead as the definitive horror film. It created an entire genre. That's fair. The wall is disturbing, yes, but not scary. That's fair. I agree about the Large Marge thing, yes. I just saw the Sweeney Todd movie and I was surprised by the gore. Kubrick's The Shining, totally agree there. Peter Straub's Ghost Story and Lynch's Lost Highway are pretty scary. I prefer creepy to flying kidneys and buckets of blood. In general, I would say that that's the stuff that actually scares me too, like some sort of creepiness. I prefer the remake of Night of the Living Dead. Okay, that's fair. Exorcist, yeah, Exorcist is pretty good. Eraserhead, oh man, Eraserhead is disturbing. Totally agree with that, Voodoo Zombie. Hello, Keith Stoll, how are you? And Seahawks is tired of DC Comics using the word crisis in so many of the events. Yeah, well, it goes back a long way, and it's just part of their identity. So I sort of get it, you know. They kind of own that word essentially. Going all the way back to Crisis on Two Earths with Justice Society and Justice League, right? I wish that like when I finished this, it sort of represented that I had some time to relax. But the actual fact is that the next 2 nights after work, I'm just going to have to be working on this week's comic tropes to get it ready in time. And I think Sunday will be the first day that I have to actually relax a little. Saturday I'll be editing and spending some time with friends, which is good, but I won't be able to like sleep in and relax for a while still to come. Feel like I'm sort of like towards the end of a marathon, but even finishing this doesn't quite represent finishing it. But I'm getting close. And I'm glad I didn't feel like alone while I was doing it. Like the fact is, like, you know, had an audience, had people to interact with and ask interesting questions and stuff, and it kept it very interesting. Thank you. Hope I've made it clear that I'm very appreciative of the audience. Ever see Heroes in Crisis? No, I haven't read that. The Thing is really good. The Thing is really good. Silence of the Lambs good. Jacob's Ladder, yep, that's pretty creepy. Life's a Grind, yep, that's true. Have you read the comic The Wicked and the Divine? I have. Let's see, that's Toronto Comics. I have, very specifically because I had a patron who supported me at like a certain tier where they get to like talk with me and select a topic, and this person really wanted me to discuss The Wicked and the Divine. So I have read it. I have not gotten to that review yet, obviously, but anticipating that I would eventually be doing it, I have read it. Not all of it. Let's make that clear, I suppose. But the first trade so far. First trade. Definitely have some things to say about it. Repossessed with Leslie Nielsen. Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty silly. Exorcist didn't need a sequel. Too true. Too true. I tried selling some of those comics. Nobody bit. Okay, I don't know which comic. Sorry. What's your favorite Christmas movie? Oh, are we there already? Sigmig says really wanted to like The Wicked and the Divine. Okay. Tomorrow night's my last night in my place before I move. I'm trying to choose what movie I should watch. I've narrowed it down to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Ninja Scroll, Dr. No, or Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia, the worn-out Sam Peckinpah masterpiece. Those are some interesting choices. I like that. I feel like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I feel like that's what I would choose right now. That's me. My favorite Christmas movie is Die Hard, Christmas Story, and Christmas Vacation. Warren Oates' Sam Peckinpah masterpiece. That makes a lot more sense. Thank you. Conan the Barbarian, Arnold Schwarzenegger version. That's your favorite Christmas movie? The best Christmas movie is Moby Presents Alien Sex Party. Scrooged. The Exorcist TV show was so bad it's good. Christmas Starts in September. Gremlins. Die Hard. I think my favorite Christmas movie is It's a Wonderful Life. I like that movie. That one gets me. Feel like every year it actually feels like more relevant to me than the year before. So yeah, I definitely like that movie a lot, and it's probably the one that it's my favorite Christmas movie. As far as like a favorite Christmas special, I really like the Rudolph special by Rankin and Bass. I love all those songs. I love them. Jingle, 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 you will hear my sleigh bells ring. I am old Kris Kringle, I'm the king of jingling. I probably shouldn't go anymore, YouTube will demonetize me. We're on the island of misfit toys. Alright. Can't let myself do it. What's your favorite Christmas song? You don't even have to like Christmas, but do you have a song, a Christmas song that you like? I do like Christmas music. There's a weird part about Christmas that I like. A lot of people out there probably don't, but there's one thing I like about Christmas. I love getting presents. Just kidding. Lethal Weapon. Yep. Most Shane Black films. Yep. Most Shane Black films are at Christmas. What's my favorite Thanksgiving movie? Don't think I have one. That movie's in the public domain, so you're good singing the songs? I don't think it's in public domain. Doesn't Rankin and Bass still own their stuff? Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Illumination doesn't have the teeth to handle the Grinch. Mariah Carey all the way. That is a good Christmas song. The NSYNC Christmas album. I've never listened to that one. The Grinch song. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's Thanksgiving. That is a good pull, Clay. Nice pull. Rudolph had an improper copyright notice when that mattered. Why am I such a misfit? I am not just a nitwit. They can fire me. I quit. Seems I don't fit in. We may be different from the rest. Who decides the test of what is really best? We're a couple of misfits. We're a couple of misfits. Seems the matter is... Okay, I lost the lyrics at the end there. Sorry. I hate shopping, but I still love going to fancy department stores that have pianists playing Christmas music. Ooh, that sounds nice. I like that. That sounds good. I'm gonna go to a Christmas store that has pianists playing. Where do they do that? I don't think I've honestly ever been to one that has pianists playing. Since I've said it so many times, I'll just say it once more. Pianists.
I want to be a dentist.
Herbie wants to be a dentist. Silver and gold means so much more when I see silver and gold decorations on every Christmas tree. Sorry, folks, I know I can't carry a tune. I've never been able to sing. Doesn't stop me from trying to when I'm in the car by myself. Or in the shower. I try. I cannot carry a note.
What's the matter with misfits? Seems we don't fit in.
What mange have you read? Did you sing the comic tropes jingle? Nah, I hired somebody to do that. Macy's in Chicago had a pianist when I lived there. I think Bloomingdale's did too. Ooh, that sounds nice. If you live in a place with a Catholic cathedral, which still does Latin service for high holy days, you should go to at least one just for the medieval pageantry. Sounds interesting. Silent Night by Napalm Death. That's a good. My wife won't let me sing Christmas Card from a Hooker in Minneapolis in front of the kids. My favorite Thanksgiving movie is Thanksgiving. The Vandals, Oil to the World. What manga have I read? A lot of the stuff that I've reviewed, obviously. Blade of the Immortal. A lot of Junji Ito horror. My Hero Academia. Anything by what's his nuts? Anything. I'm so tired, folks. I'm having trouble thinking of names. Naoki Urasawa, stuff like Pluto, Monster, 20th Century Boys, Master Keaton. I love all that stuff. I've read a bunch of stuff by Osamu Tezuka, Buddha, Astro Boy, stuff like that. I don't know. I guess not a lot. Ghost in the Shell I've read. Yeah, I'm a little stumped right now, but don't take everything I'm saying at face value because, like I say, I don't think my brain is working at full capacity right now. So frustrating when you feel like I'm smarter than this. Well, maybe I'm not. What hentai have I read? Don't think I've read any. The Pogues Christmas song. I thought Mange was a Powerpuff Girls reference. I don't know. My cat loves singing. Grandma got run over by the reindeer. Ugh, that is one of the worst. Hello, Nathan Walkie. I didn't know Blade of the Immortal was a manga. I'll have to read it. Yeah, I did an episode about it. Comic tropes. You can look it up and get a sense of what it's about and why I think it's a pretty good read. I'm trying to think of what the worst Christmas song is, and there's lots of ones that people don't like. I'm blanking on the name again. Paul McCartney's song. Simply having wonderful Christmas time. Objectively, a pretty bad song. It's nothing. It's you're like, how could this have come from Paul McCartney? But it gets played, and maybe some people like it. I don't know. That one's, I think, pretty darn bad. But the worst is either Christmas Shoes or this local one in like DC that goes like, it's Christmas time in Washington, America's hometown. It's so bad. But Christmas Shoes is probably the worst. Probably. And if you don't know Christmas Shoes, I recommend you immediately look up Patton Oswalt's bit where he reviews that song in detail, because it is a treat. It is so true. It is such... Nobody can put it better. Patton nailed it. Look up Christmas Shoes, Patton Oswalt, and you're in for quite a treat. Quite a treat. Little Drummer Boy's the worst? Yeah, probably not great, but my mom can't stand Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time, as well as the Chipmunks. Yeah, Chipmunks not great. Kinda enjoyed it as a kid. Kinda don't as an adult. Let me look something up real quick. I'm sort of forgetting where Manji has his scars. I'm going to just quickly look up a picture of him. Oh boy. I am sorry. I wish I had a little more energy than this. Okay. He does not have a scar on this side. Okay. I did a bad job on this hair, I just realized, because it should all be getting pulled up to this knot, and instead some of it's just flowing back here. So, I just flat out messed up there. That ain't good. This is frustrating me, this drawing. I'll finish it, but I'm a little upset with myself for what I've done with it. Whoa! Excuse me, I shouted that. Wait a minute, did I just miss 2 super chats? Hold on. Hold on. Let me scroll up. Okay. That's Insanity. And this is Keith Stoll. Wow. Wow. Thank you, Keith. Wow. That's insanely generous. I didn't expect two chats like that tonight. I don't necessarily have time to do a new commission right now, but the least I can do to Sansanity and Keith Stoll, please feel free to reach out, and if one of these pieces that I have here is something you'd like, I can at least mail that out to you. So I've got, like, here, let's just see what's still available, because I have sold some already. But I'll pull out what I've got, because I'm going slow anyway. And And if one of these appeals to you guys, you know, you can let me know. Let me make sure I've got everything that is available. All right. So we've got Manji, Clayface. Wait, is that another super chat? Oh my god. Wow. I don't know what to say. That's so nice of you. This one did sell, excuse me. Put that to the side. Let me just show you what's available. I'd be happy to mail you out like one of these. So I've got Manji, I've got Clayface, Lockjaw, Magic, Windmill from G.I. Joe, Tyrannosaurus Rex, the DeLorean from Back to the Future, Bizarro, Snake Plissken's for somebody else. Snake Plissken's for C. Kim, since C. Kim gave me a bunch of super chats. I've got Blaster from Thunderdome, an Aubrey Hepburn version of Catwoman, Hawk from Buck Rogers, Jack Torrance from The Shining, some Ninja Turtles sparring. This one didn't come out too great, but there's an idea there that's kind of cool. It's supposed to be the characters from Unbreakable. Judge Dredd, Link from Legend of Zelda, Tetsuo from Akira, the Doctor and a Clockwork Android, Pinhead, the Cenobite from Hellraiser, Mr. Spock. So, Keith and Sans Sanity, feel free to reach out to me if either of you would like one of these. I'd be happy to send it to you. It's the least I can do since you just gave me each such generous super chats. It's what I did for C. Kim, who also gave me like a really high one. So I wish I had more to offer. You know, I've got the show. All I can do is I'll tell you that I'm committed to making the show. I'm committed to doing these live streams as often as I can. And if I can get to the point where the YouTube show is a financially viable option for like a full-time job, I would add a lot more content to the channel. But we'll see if that happens. So, wow. You know what? I don't know. I guess I'll do a tiny bit more on this since I'm so close, like on this foot. But yeah, overall, I don't know exactly what didn't come together on this. I think I'm sincerely so exhausted that I couldn't quite block out the sketch in a way that fully satisfied me, like for like all the proportions and everything. It's okay, it's not great. There's something missing somewhere or other, and you know, maybe when I've got a little bit more time, I can analyze it more carefully. But let me erase one little line here that's way out of place. Actually, two. That one, because he doesn't have a scar there, and then this one, I don't know what I was thinking at that point. Don't really need any of these. Don't need that. Just going to get rid of at least a few lines here. I know I missed some things. Anybody doing anything fun for Thanksgiving? I wish. Chrissy says, "Oh God, I can't handle it. He he he." I assume it's. Oh, wait a minute. Did I get another super chat? Wait. Nobody tell him. Oh my God. Another one from Sansanity. Oh my god. Uh, I just made more doing this live stream than I did at work today, I think. I'm pretty sure about that. You can get elective procedures now. Yeah, Chibi didn't just get her seizure addressed. She can now get she can get liposuction at this point. Oh my god. Hello, Gunta G. It's a Halloween miracle. Thank you very much for your generosity. Um, I'll be honest, I never would have expected anything like this, folks. I just wouldn't. I don't think I'll ever get used to it. I really don't, but that's amazing. That is just amazing. Um, let me whew, let me do a few shadow highlights here. That's sort of going to be my cooldown. Um, by the way, have I ever explained? I think I might have once. The idea of warm-ups and cooldowns. Warm-ups are when you sort of do some light sketching and you don't really care about the result, but it's just to get your sort of muscles going and get your mind going, and it helps you produce then a better result theoretically. And then a cooldown is sort of the same idea, to just sort of like break back out of like the sort of thinking that you the sort of mindset that you put yourself in when you're doing a lot of artwork. So I've realized that a lot of these episodes, when I have the time, I bust out the Copics and I start doing that. That's sort of my cooldown. That's sort of my cooldown period. Do you remember the first super chat, Chris? I don't know that I do. I don't know that I do. I feel bad. I can go back, fortunately, to the episodes and look. Hello, Russian person. It's interesting. Whew. Thanks for keeping this stream going. Hey, I will do this stream either way. I get something out of it, getting to interact with all of you and getting to practice my art, and sort of feeling like it keeps me honest. It keeps me going if I have an audience. If I'm live streaming, I can't not do it. You know what I mean? It made me keep going. So everybody helped, but those super chats are pretty amazing. Whew. There's a few folks at work that know that I do a channel, and they ask me about it and stuff, and like, I kind of play coy because I don't want to be like a braggart or anything like that at work, but if they push, boy, will I be kind of happy and excited to be like, yeah, I made over $400 last night doing an hour's worth of work. Woo! I'm gonna have to invent some sort of a victory song for moments like these. This is very special to me. Thank you. Thank you again, Sanity and Keith. Just very, very generous of you. I certainly hope it's not anything that financially impacts you in any way. I would never want that out of anybody that watches the show. I only if you're comfortable. Means a lot. Does mean a lot. Wow. Wow. Cool stance on that samurai. Overall I sort of like the stance. I just think I needed a little more time practicing to sort of get the robe exactly where I wanted it to be. Yeah. I quit drinking, so it's some of my former booze money. Oh, all right. And Seahots, I've seen that you've asked this a couple times, and I wasn't really ignoring. I've just been busy, and I keep sort of letting it slip my mind. I don't remember who it was, but I remember how grateful you were for $5. I am. I'm grateful. Like some people are giving me like $1.99. I hope you understand. That means a lot to me too. I'm not trying to make it a competition ever. That stuff all goes into a fund. It helps me with my bills and it helps me with the show. I'll be getting some stuff. Milo gets a mic now. Anyway, C Hot's had an interesting question. It is interesting. It says he asks, "What's your worst Christmas experience?" And I don't know that I have a well. All right, I had one where I argued with my dad, and that felt pretty miserable. So that's really like kind of dark and all though. I don't want to like bring anybody down. I know Chrissy had one where the weather got so bad she wasn't able to make her flight home to see her family. So that would probably be up there for her. I don't want to speak for her, but I just know that was a bummer. Um, I don't know. Like I think that like it all depends on your attitude. Any holiday, how much you can sort of enjoy it or not. Um, if you just try to be positive and accepting, I think that you can make any holiday a pretty good experience. And if you come in with a negative attitude, you're going to get into arguments with family and friends and ruin it for people. Ooh, my back is seizing up a little. An aunt gave me a tie as a Christmas present when I was a kid. I don't remember what I did with it. Yeah, Chrissy says that was a sad Christmas. I rented myself a movie and made myself a sad casserole. That breaks my heart. That was before I knew Chrissy. That I feel like no matter what, now we at least always sort of have each other. Like if one of us went home to see family, that's good. But like we'd know that in advance. I think we've always spent the holidays together since we've known each other. I think the first Christmas, yeah, well, no, was the first Christmas the one where we went to Hawaii, or was that the second one that we knew each other? It's hard to remember. I sent you a sexy nurse costume. Did you get it, Chris? What do you think I'm wearing? This is me as a sexy nurse. I think everybody knew that. No, I did not get a sexy nurse costume. I don't think. Uh, Sorry about that. I've had a lot of good fortune in my life. I have. I've had tough times too, and I would say that like right now is this very strange mix. I've got a lot of possibilities in front of me. I've got a lot of possibilities. The channel's going well. Um, there are good things, but I will also say that like there are like always sort of like health and financial concerns, and like this past couple of years that's probably been like a lot higher than in past years. In past years, I had much more comfortable job. I think both Chrissy and I did, and now these days it's a little more iffy. But that's okay. So far, no emergencies or anything like that. It's good to have possibilities. I suffer from depression. I think I've mentioned that like more than once on the show, and that means that even when things are rationally good, emotionally I can like just feel totally alone and miserable, and it doesn't necessarily make a rational sense, and you can't just unfortunately ignore it. There are steps I take to address that. One is being busy. Another that can help is eating well and exercising. Um, won't say that I'm perfect there, but I'm better than I have been at certain points in the past. And third is socializing. That one gets tricky these days because of my job. Like I don't get to see friends or family as much as I would like to. But it's not nothing, And overall, I would say that life is pretty good, and you all help. It's really really nice. Let's see. Sexy nurses get more super chats. Well, that might be true, but I'm doing fine for myself. Nathan says, I also have depression, know exactly how you feel, and do similar things to cope. Well, I'm glad that you're taking steps to take care of yourself. That's all I can say is I promise I do take steps to take care of myself so that I can keep, like, producing the show. I feel like I've got people that sort of count on me there. I don't want to let anybody down. Um, but it can be hard sometimes. Like depression, it's not fully rational. It's a chemical thing. I also take medication. So as long as I remember to take my medication, that helps a great deal to just keep me evened out. Like it doesn't let me get too down. Uh, it might prevent me a little from getting as happy as I sometimes did in the past, but if it does, it's a small amount. Overall, I definitely still feel that I'm thinking the same way, that I'm myself. So I don't think that the medication is doing any harm. It only helps. It's a tough thing to deal with, but I think I've tried to always be pretty open and honest that like that's a thing that I struggle with. I don't try to like put it in anybody's face or be upfront. Like I just don't want to hide it. I want it to be out there, just in case anything ever takes a bad turn and I sort of need some time off. That would basically be what's happening. Is we'd be just battling that for a little while. But right now, I'm doing good. All right. Hope I didn't bring everybody down talking about that stuff. That I always feel guilty when I talk about it. This is amazing to think that we are wrapping up the month of October. Some of you out there are in time zones where it is already November. This month seemed to fly by. Obviously, a lot of that was like, at least from my perspective, because I was busy. And but boy, did this month go by quickly. Um, I feel very fortunate today. I feel very fortunate. It's been a pleasure talking to all of you. I'm not going to just disappear. I'm going to try to keep doing live streams as often as possible. Thank you, Chris, for helping me get through October midterms. Oh man, I remember that. That can be a tough time. So glad that you're getting through it. Um, Eggnog Suge? I don't know what that is. We all made electric shadows beyond our fingertips, but none of us could reach that high. Ooh, that sounds poetic. I like that. Hey, Chris, we want to know what your fave samurai movie is. Mine is Seven Samurai. It's a good question, Philip, and hello, Philip. Let's see. What is my favorite samurai movie? On a fun level, I have to admit that Blade of the Immortal, a very recent movie, was way up there. On a fun level, this really worked for me. But probably Seven Samurai is also my favorite. I think it's my favorite Akira Kurosawa film. Um, Yojimbo is also very good, as is Rashomon. But I think my favorite might be Seven Samurai. It's quite good. If you haven't out there seen Seven Samurai, I recommend it. You're going to recognize, if you've never seen it, you're going to recognize a lot of stuff about the characters and the plot that have been adapted by other films, stories. It's all about the tropes, right? Did one of the super chats disappear? It doesn't mean that it's taken away. Eventually they go away over time. So, that's all. Blade of the Immortal is an awesome movie. Seven Samurai is the best. It is. My favorite samurai cartoon is Samurai Jack. I'm glad they finished off the series after about 15 years. That's awesome. I like that. The best Kurosawa film is The Three Ninjas Strike Back. Jeremy Pinkham, I didn't get to say hello, but I do not mind saying goodbye. Goodbye, sir. You're banned for life. No, I'm just kidding. Turtles in Time. Oof. Kurosawa was a genius. He really was. Worth watching what he did in terms of the performances he got out of actors, the way he could play with time, what he did with lighting and just establishing shots, how he filmed action. There's a lot to learn about Akira Kurosawa. Created some really, really fantastic movies. Definitely one of the best. It goes beyond just being like, oh, that's a cool Japanese movie, and you're just like, that is a good movie. That is relatable outside of, Japan. The best Kurosawa film is The Three Ninjas. Oh, I just read that. Okay. Somebody talking about the Zatoichi series. There's been like at least 3 times that's been adapted. Zatoichi is the Blind Samurai. And there's sort of an American version that loosely adapts that too. It's called Blind Fury, and it stars Rutger Hauer. It's from the 80s. It's pretty worthwhile to watch. Oh, Ron. Yeah, Ron is also, that's a gorgeous movie. All right. I really need to take off. It's getting late here. I've still got some stuff to do on the episode that I'm putting together, and I've got work in the morning. So I am going to end it here, a little over an hour. Can't thank everybody enough. Wow, it's the last one. It feels strange to just say, goodbye for right now. But all I can say is I'll be back. I've got my, let's see, this is me on Twitter and Instagram. You can look at me there. Comic Tropes has a Twitter and a Facebook page. The YouTube show comes out every Sunday. Every Sunday I put out a new episode. Hello, Uncanny Kodiak. I'm sorry I didn't get to say hello earlier. Thank you for all the thank yous. Thank you, everybody. That's really, really kind. I recognize so many names here. It's wonderful. It's 5:30 in the UK, so good night and good morning. Yeah, that sounds good. So I'm going to take off for this. I will do more live streams. Since I won't be doing them like daily, I will try to announce them ahead of time. Like I will actually schedule it for a certain time, and I'll announce that on the Comic Tropes like Twitter and my personal Twitter. I'll probably like retweet it. So. All right, everybody. Hope you had a good Halloween. Hope you had a good October. I'm gonna miss it because I love like Halloween decorations and I love scary movies. But we're all gonna have a fantastic November. It's all about family and keep reading comics. Bye.